But my favorite part of this draft for T1 is the Galio follow-up. Faker has been by far and away the best Galio player this season. He's had some amazing taunt plays. He had a 5-man taunt in a really critical matchup. They have now, yeah, you didn't get the rise, but you have a lot of power around early skirmishing with this Sivir. Taunts are going to be strong. Knockups are going to be strong. You can, of course, add some extra shielding.
I hope you guys could hear the drum. Joe Marsh was really, really giving it all he had in that fan chant. Oh, pack Sivir as well for Gumayusi.
Now, trying to set up kills for the Zeri early is a very tricky thing, but Cuz is looking for it.
Yeah, and Life is trying to bait them in as well. Extendo Beam doesn't exactly hit the mark. Flash out from Life just to deny the first blood as Cuz is wrapping around. We got Alcove Gaming through here as that's a phenomenal spell shield, and Faker had teleported in to save his bottom lane. They knew how important this was going to be as Justice Punch comes down. There's a 3-man taunt from Faker and he picks up Life and first blood. Extendo Beam will do nothing and KT just lose a member. Faker saves the day. Yeah, and immediately the Predator is popped, and it is so difficult. I was expecting this to be a level 1 play, but instead just walks up, flash taunt onto 3. It's that easy.
맞아. 제리 높을.
No flash on Zeri, he says. Very calm and collected. And
everyone, you just press your R button, and everyone knows it's fighting time.
Well, it's like having a Shirelius before you would normally have that. You don't even have to spend the gold to get it. There's also another way to look at it is Vikla will try to come over here and contest, but there is just no way. Also, they don't sacrifice any farm for Guma. He's here. Zeri on the other side, which is a champion that normally gets a lot of value if it's left in the bottom lane while the Herald is being contested.
3 versus 2, theoretically, even if we can only see a... Oh, okay, never mind. Make it 4 versus 2. So this is going to be guaranteed plates. Zeus and Gumayusi both going to be picking them up here.
Look at
this
how
lane
late
swap for acceleration is fantastic for T1.
And terrible for aiming. He's just now getting back to the lane. And meanwhile, Guma's getting all these plates. Guess who's giving up the CS? It's Faker, by the way. He gave him the mid CS. He's like, you can have it. I'm not going to need those early items. I'm just a CC bot this game. I'm just going to play utility. And Faker, once again, big brain plays here. Now he's actually getting free landing done as they get a second charge. And Zeri, yeah, she'll get some plates down here, but this is such an accelerated Sivir. The exchange is not fair. Yeah. Mid-game power here now in this T1 composition. Is Hex Flash going to be used here? Zeus has no idea.
Yeah, so many wards, but it's going to see him a little bit too late here. Zeus is going to get knocked up by the Wild Growth pretty nicely. The stun should come through. The Nara's onto 3, but I have a feeling Zeus is still going to die as he will get snipped down. Rascal secures that kill. That is going to be 1 over to KT to even out that scoreline, but the money damage is already there for T1. I don't think Zeus is too upset about the situation.
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's still a small win here for KT, all things considered. A lot of resources had to be given. And also knows Zeri is taking a Gromp right now because she's like, I don't know where Poppy is. Guma going to sweep this one through. Somebody might be hiding in that brush. We don't know.
Yeah, there's the Hex Flash from Cuz. He has the shield, final chapter, and Flash going to be invested alongside the Ghost as well.
And when you don't know where Cuz is, you obviously could push this on a little bit further.
Yeah, Cuz is going to impale here. His own is going to get pushed back. Can't actually get through here as he does smite for a bit of extra health, but it's not going to save him. And that's Zeri picking up a kill, ladies and gentlemen.
Here, see how powerful she does end up being later on. Don't want to underestimate what she could do. Is this going to be a dead turret?
Yeah, and possibly a dead Rascal, but he is going to pull out the needlework. There's the ulti from Faker. That's just going to make sure that Ona stays alive as Rascal is demanding some respect here. Well, remember at the beginning of the season, Rascal was like, tanks are the best right now, but I also really like Gwen. So he is on his carry of choice here.
Faster here for Gumayusi, but Faker?
Yeah, possibly out of position here just a little bit as he's trying to get out. Teleport to come through from KT, looking to try and protect Rascal. But Vikla's going to have to make his way out of here. Faker's taking a long time to be taken down, as Cuz definitely not wanting to use the Impale on just a lone Gargoyle. And T1, positional error as the flash forward from Cuz. He's looking for Gumayusi, but he's so incredibly fast. And Cuz is just going to get smacked into the wall. Oh my goodness, the Impale was so cute. And Cuz is going to make it to safety, but Life is going to pay for his sins then immediately afterwards. He is going to fall down. It looked cute, but it did not work out for KT as Vikla's going to have to flash, and Gumayusi is just straight up a raid boss.
This was such an extremely risky call from T1. If this fight goes even slightly better and aiming picks up 2 or 3 kills here in the extended trade,
And sometimes it feels okay giving away Drakes if you feel like your scaling's all right, but when it's Infernals and you're giving them to this T1 composition, that doesn't feel good at all. Zeus on the flank doesn't exactly have a huge Navarre. There's a big taunt onto two members. Emperor's Divide comes down, but it's not going to save the Azir. Aiming, trying to get autos through. His owner has to flash to get himself out of the way, but this Zeri, she cannot get in range to fight, and the Drake is going to go over to T1, plus they win the battle. House flies forward. Aiming's going to get slowed down here. Zeus is not done yet. Oh, that boomerang damage was just massive, and Aiming's trying to run away, and he will be able to do so. T1 often with low health bars, but always winning these team fights.
Yeah, and T1 just showcasing that they're such a fabulous team fighting team. Like, it's just so beautifully set up here. As once again, we're going to see Cuz looking for topside pick.
Yeah, him and Life I don't think is going to be enough damage here, as Cuz should be able to get an Impale, as he's looking to try and bring Faker back to Vikla. Owner's going to turn up, as Faker decides that he wants to turn this fight around. Faker is likely to fall down here, but no, actually creates enough distance. The rest of T1 turn up to save their mid laner, as Cuz is now limping away again. Gumayusi deals with that, with a ricochets. In goes Vikla. Faker just completely denies the Azir play, and now it's the big ol' Gnar in the front line to clean up shop. Extendo beam flying forward, but it's once again just not going to be enough damage, and Faker just baits all of KT.
This was such a knife's edge play for both teams, but I thought this game was going to be decided on, you know, a soul point fight, maybe a Baron. KT said, no, we're just going to fight for this. We're going to force this on the top side. Oh no, Aiming.
He is able to Jet Set Radio Future, tries to ulti this one, but he will get snared up with the Everfrost. Trying to keep himself alive here is Faker and a Cat, not exactly able to do it, but still Baron's going down, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't matter that this kill wasn't able to be picked up, because T1 now have a gigantic lead and so much pushing threat.
So the Zeri scaling component of this isn't going to be as big of a problem unless they can win some really decisive team fights. Zeus.
Live?
Hello?
Pop goes the Lulu, I guess, as that is a nice ulti. Cuz gonna have to flash to get himself out of this one, but it's not going to save his life. Zeus with the Hyperprox going to get there, and KT are just evaporating one after the other. Double kill for Zeus. Vikla is on 0 health inside his base, and he's gonna be taken out as well. Now it's Rascal against the world. And against the world, I might say that it's all right, but against T1 in this game, it is absolutely not. And this turret is going to fall down. T1 should claim game number 1, and this Sivir comp looking absolutely beautiful.
5-0 and 7 here, Guma on the Sivir, but I think a lot of this game was really about how his teammates set him up, Faker and Zeus in particular. What a beautiful answer to the Zeri crafted here from T1.
Yeah, absolutely amazingly done, as they are going to try and kill Life one last time, as Faker even survives. Goes golden, and will be able to take down the Nexus. T1 in...
We're so close to getting the Zeri accelerated with and getting her online, ends up backfiring. And that was the real back-breaking moment here where T1 take the win. I think this is an easy Nautilus pick for Keria. I don't think you want to reinvent the wheel here. You don't want to be playing, you know, Pyke Aphelios just because it's cool. Thresh also fair for the same reasons. I think it's really strong into Sion, Skarner. The box is going to be massive value, so that's one reason why you take it over the Nautilus, because you're not looking to engage as a support in this case with the Aphelios. You just want to make sure the Aphelios has more distance between.
Thank you very much, Joe Marsh, for the drum roll, quite literally, as we hop into this game. Very interested to see whether it's going to work out here for KT this time, with a much more coherent draft. And you can see things are just too dark for KT to move on forward. Gumayusi and Keria are taking care of this mid lane. And as far as the macro play, this is looking very, very nice for T1. But still, Cuz lurking. Could be a 50-50, but Faker can just get in front of this Skarner, and that means that he just cannot get in here.
As soon as they see Guma, KT are like, all right, that's it. Amy's going back down to try to grab a plate, because we are just not going to win this fight.
And Gumayusi has been a little bit, like, in a bit of a pain point for T1. They haven't been able to find as many resources for him to allow him to pop off. And it feels like that has been a big change, as Keria going to flash on over, looks for Vikla here. The hook is going to land onto a minion. Well-placed minion wave there by Vikla. As a Gnar into the wall, and Zeus is looking for a solo kill. House comes down, and yeah, the train has to immediately leave the station, as Rascal's going to have to go home.
Well, I think he is just going to end up losing another plate here, unfortunately. This is some of the problems here is, okay,
Yeah, final chapter comes down. Owner is moving in, though. The box comes through from Carrier, and that should be able to keep them safe. But Realm Warp is going to augment this play. Cuz moving forward. Heroic charge to taxi them out. And there's the ult. No Skarner for you is now aiming. He's trying to fight this one out. First blood goes to Gumayusi as Vikla was way too far forward. And finally, Cuz turns back up. But there is just no fight to be had here. To flash forward, though. And Cuz is trying to get something done against his former teammate. They will be able to even out the kills. But Gumayusi picking up that first blood, I think, is the bigger deal.
Yeah, unfortunately, aiming is also not going to be the one to get the kill. The kill goes over to Cuz here, so a little bit less gold in his pocket because it's a split kill between 3 members. So not even a ton of gold. It's actually a 3-split assist that he picks up there. It will lead to a Drake.
As this tower also ready to fall. You can see T1, they haven't taken any turrets yet, but there is like almost nothing left on the mid and top lane turret. The plates are going to fall down now, and when we get that money report, as far as the plates are concerned, you're going to see exactly where this T1 gold lead has come from. It's just them getting the shove in so many of these lanes.
Topside especially.
Yeah, and this is the T1 that we've, come to expect. Is now Hex Flash is going to get channeled here by Cuz. He's going to be able to get the smite down, and he's got a Yuumi as well. The Wallop is going to stop Zeus from being pulled back too far, but he's real dead, guys. Does manage to get the turret, so he can actually say worthy if he would like to, as the train is going to come on over and look to stop Faker here. A little bit of damage.
Guma doesn't feel great with his Gale Force. Like, I think T1 should be willing to give this one up, but they're not. They're going to fight for it. Faker's in a good spot here, has his flash. We know what he can do with that flash taunt.
They've done a lot of damage to this Drake already. It will be secured, but can KT find the team fight? Faker on a ward right now, but the rest of T1 will just evacuate the area. Realm Warp's going to come down. Zeus is likely just going to be the sacrificial Gnar here, and he will. That's a kill over to aiming, though, and KT are probably pretty happy with that situation.
Yeah, that's actually pretty massive for them. But T1 have also maintained Drake parity now, which is one way. Okay, hold on.
All right, that is a big old flash impale, but Cuz can just go absolutely nowhere. The hook from Carrier was too good, and that means the Skarner will go down immediately. Rascal still trying to run at them, but he's just going to find no value. And Cuz, unfortunately, has just looked a little bit silly this series. And just kind of dies. As, okay, Hex Flash gets him over the wall here as Aiming's trying to get these minions as best he can, but the Impale's once again going to come down. Owner is just going to heroically charge his way out of there, though, as Vikla does go golden. Owner's still alive somehow, as Rascal is a brick wall in the front line. He gets hooked back once again as the Carrier show has began, and the Scion will be taken down. Gumayusi says thanks for that kill, but now Zeus and Faker in a little bit of trouble. Nah, not going to quite find the wallet value there, because we'll, pardon me, lock down that kill, and then Cuz is immediately going to go down.
It's just amazing. Doesn't matter how good of a choke point control you think you have, you are just not going to catch up to this team.
It's just insane. Having a look at this one from Owner's perspective,
40 health.
Somehow manages to survive and then gets his ulti
is what knocks
perfectly
Aiming away.
aligned for when Aiming gets his ult back up again.
Yeah. Gets taunted, of course, by Faker's, catching them there on the choke point. Here comes his ult. By Aiming. That's all he needed to do to make sure the rest of T1 can take out the Skarner and back out.
As Vikla should be able to take down this top outer turret. Faker is not super psyched about it, but still not going to be able to stop it. Is okay, ghosting forward here is Vikla. Does get the Rune Prison down. Faker taking a lot of damage. The minion wave actually helping Vikla out here as Faker has to use his Zhonya's. There's a Realm Warp as Vikla is going to get knocked out of that one. He's going to, die on his own terms, but it's a 1-for-1 in the end as Aiming's doing a bit of work here to this outer turret, but otherwise not too much. And Cuz might now be in a little bit of trouble, but no, he is going to be able to secure the Rift Scuttler and keeps himself alive as Vikla on this blue buff. Does have flash, so he's not going to be dying right now. Picks the juke beautifully, does Carrier, as now Vikla feeling a bit silly for not flashing earlier. Zayat's going to take a lot of damage, though, as Aiming's going to turn up. Picks up his first kill. Now Owner's next on the menu. Gumayusi decides that he just doesn't want to be in the fight, as it's a double for the Zeri. Make it a triple, and make that a Baron on top.
And Guma is just, he cannot be here. It's too risky for him to be here. He's on a low range of Aphelios. It doesn't have an ultimate, so he's over on the side, and they go a little bit too deep here, trying to grab a pick. And yeah, Vikla, if he flashes the hook, he survives, and this is even better for them. But either way, they're just caught as they're too far forward there in a choke point where Aiming is going to get so much value and now money out of this team fight. As T1 looked to try to get a pick to set up for Baron, they had complete control of the choke point starting out, but they didn't have to force this. Now Guma is going to play a greedy move down here and grab an inhibitor turret, which is going to be a lot of money into his pocket as well. Can he escape? I think the answer will be yes. Zeus is Narabar, man.
Well, Amy's just diving forward. Faker has to go golden immediately, and the ulti does nothing from Ona, but the lantern placement was fantastic. Now Zeus trying to get himself out, but does so with a hop into crush combo. And KT, they have control of the river, but T1 keep everyone alive.
Now T1 need to rush back over here and deny this if they're going to contest. Unfortunately, they just won't have a Narabar here for Zeus. He does have teleport. He's going to try to actually get it on the bottom side of the map and come back. He's not going to back.
Oh,
Aiming.
Dear. Carrier is going to land the hook onto Aiming, but he is just going to die for it. They did need to check this. Zeus is on the bottom side. He does have teleport, but I don't think that he's going to be able to do anything to try and get over here and stop this Baron. It's going to be the second one going to KT unless Ona can get in there and make this one happen. He does have the flash. He gets into the pit, but he's way too early. They didn't have the vision available. He had to try and take a gamble, and Aiming's just going to be able to pick up the kill. Inner turret goes down, but that is not quite enough to even out the trade here as KT will take their second Baron.
KT's comp is so oppressive. So Rascal can just show up at a moment's notice. Zeus has it as well here, but he's so reliant on his Narabar. Without it, they cannot team fight. Once again, it's going to be used here early, so this is a really tough fight to take for T1, but they have to.
Well, in comes the train as the Realm Warp's going to come over as well as Rascal almost gets on top of Gumayushi. That's a phenomenal ultimate from Ona, though. And he is going to be able to get rid of the Scion immediately. Zeus actually taking a lot of damage, and Rascal, he's so tanky. They do manage to get the taunt. There's the Everfrost. Now he's at 50%. This fight's been going on for quite some time. Is Aiming now going to take him out? I felt very dangerous there going through the Hex Gate, but it will be the Hextech Soul. Moonlight Vigil comes down though with Gumayushi, takes matters into his own hands and immediately gets flattened. There is the ultimate out from Cuz as well. The Impale is going to mean the end of the Poppy. He gets his revenge there against the Poppy in the end. Vickla's flashing forward. Zeus is going to go down, and I think KT will just end the game right here.
Oh man, Rascal's over there 1v4 because there's just no one who can damage him outside of Guma and Zeus. Zeus is actually caught on the other side of the fight, and they're looking to end it. We are going to a game 3 here, Atlas. Rascal is going to that location of the rift as well. He's going to slam into the wall, but we are going to a game 3, and T1 fall behind in the mid game. One single team fight, one overextension. KT take all the control of the map with that Baron, turn into a second Baron, and Aiming redeems himself on the Zeri this time around.
Yeah, really showing that the denial of the Zeri Yuumi was very important.
That's KT, you're like, okay, we got one more chance, but I don't think, even though Aiming gets 32,000 damage and is going to pick up POG here, I don't think you do it 3 for 3. I think you're going to have to change the draft going into this last one if you want to win the series.
Yep, or... What? No, that doesn't make any sense.
No, it's suffering
sad.
Something else. Imagine if you were trying to play Master Yi into an 80 carry that you can't Q. That would have been disastrous. As it looks like it is going to be the Gnar angle this time. With the Ornn there, it's too good of an opportunity to pass up. And Rascal will be able to harass them. They will have some power there later on in team fights. They have a lot of engage. Oh, I like the Gnar a lot more, but Gwen, some side lane power here. Yeah, and my problem with going for the Gwen is that with a Nocturne on the other side, your side laning is not going to be very strong because you will always be vulnerable to getting Nocturnal. It doesn't matter if you think it's a 1v1, it never really is.
All right, KT fans, you can hear, feeling very, very optimistic.
So feast or famine if someone gets ahead. Cuz.
All right, Vicklet has taken a bit of damage, but they get the flash out of Faker immediately. The flash to follow, and that is going to be the KT first blood. They trade 2 flashes for it, but they'll take that for the extra money.
Absolutely. That was a fantastic play there from Cuz and Vikla.
Well, I mean, Faker deciding to play the Orianna into this matchup, we've seen it so many times. We've seen it work out for like a lot of different players in different directions, right? You think of Chovy, you think of the Orianna angle, but I'll have to hold that thought as Zeus is taking a lot of damage. Owner in exactly the right position as the snips are going to come through. The fear comes down though, and Rascal is able to move himself out of the way. Owner getting distracted by a couple of different targets as Rascal somehow survives.
Just
at the very end of it all.
Wow, beautifully played there from Rascal. I thought he was dead for sure, but he turns around there onto Owner after Cuz buys a little bit of extra time there for the Q cooldown to come back up. They both walk out alive.
That, teleport down now, so if there's a return play, no ghost, no teleport, but we're going to check this play out one more time.
Into the charge here, flash for that extra damage, then the slow comes through, and it's a flash follow for the last part of the combo. He barely has enough mana to do it, but he pulls it off. Yeah, he is very close, as you can see the experience shown there, but Zeus is left on his own.
Yeah, no flash available. He is real dead. The Ornhorn comes through, but it's just going to run by. That should mean that KT will be able to grab some control, but Realm Warp to come on forward. The ulti's going to buy a whole bunch of time as Cuz is going to make his way out. The Ornhorn comes on through, but the Needlework is coming down and Rascal's going to pick up the kill. And now Vikla looking for even more. It's a great defensive shockwave, but I don't think that it's going to be able to get T1 the advantage, especially with Zeus dead. They should still be able to stop this Rift Herald from going down, though, and that is great news.
And Vikla's so incredibly low, but Zeri left the lane, so Aiming is just sitting on this one. And the thing is, KT, I think, don't need this Rift Herald right now. Like, it's not a requirement for them to win this, and KT now pick up an extra kill here. Control of this Rift Herald fight was theirs for so long that so many resources had to be expended. Faker's ult's down, Owner's Paranoia is down to Aiming. The first turret race.
Vikla actually deciding to not head on over, does not have the Realm Warp available, as now Paranoia going to be used back onto the Rise, gets the flash out of him.
Vikla lost his flash for it, of course, but still okay.
All right, Aiming could be in trouble. He's not going to flash just yet. Ambush goes down. Zeus is still going to breathe on him, but the Brittle not going to get procced. He doesn't have flash, but Aiming's still going to have to get out.
This is the world we live in. A lot of lane swaps, a lot of trying to get 80 carries plates, and the one that's in control actually gets to make the swap choice, as Cuz will be seen on this controller. But Zeus is really the biggest winner of this at the moment, as Vikla now has Realm Warp, but doesn't want to come over here, doesn't want to lose control of mid. It's just going to teleport back to shut Faker down, who has a pretty significant CS lead, about 20 in his favor right now. And T1 have really played this last 3 minutes of passage of play so extremely well that even though KT had such a massive lead, a lot of that has kind of fallen by the wayside.
Yeah, well, Gumushi now in a bit of trouble here as the Needlework was coming through. Here's the Realm Warp as well, as now Vikla looks for it, finds the Q very nicely, and the ult's going to do absolutely nothing. Vikla just secures it. Gumushi underneath his turret, and the assist gold actually going over to Aiming as well.
That he's going to be looking to buy a second item by the next break fight.
Faker having to deal with Rascal here, who's got a lot of Needlework available. Let's see whether the Alcove Gaming's going to work out. Just the dash over is helping out here. Cuz is going to move on up, though, as the Paranoia comes in as well. Faker's going to go down. Can Owner actually trade one back? The answer's yes, as Cuz looking to make it underneath his turret and will do so. It's a 1-for-1 in the end. Faker for Rascal.
So will be a trade of kills here. Rise also very accelerated in this game as KT.
All right, big Ornhorn. That's a flash forward just to try and get some fear off. They had the shockwave there. The triple knock-up from Zeus, though, as he's taking matters into his own hands. Aiming gets shielded up, but it's just not going to do enough. As now Cuz is running out. Rascal turns up, but he's way too late to this party. He'll pick up an exhaust on his way out, but that was basically a wipe here for T1, as they'll take Shirley as their reward.
As we watch this flash play here for the Ornhorn. And KT have to be aware that at this stage in time, they do not have the damage nor the CC to win this fight. The follow-up knock-up is amazing after the Wild Growth is there, and Twitch is just out of luck.
Yeah, just amazingly done. And the fact that he made that decision in like a split second as well. Absolutely amazing here from Zeus. As was a ult and Ornn get one free.
Bye-bye crown here for Vikla. Choke points still T1s. They've got a Zeri here. They've got an Ornn. No Ornhorn, but still with Extendo Beam, I just don't see any way here for KT. Realm Warp attempt.
Yeah, we are just going to reposition KT here as the Drake is going down low. Here's the engage onto Zeus. He's probably okay with that as the Shockwave lands onto 3. They do manage to take it away, and Cuz steals the Drake. Owner's going to fall down as well, as now Vikla taking a lot of damage. Gumushi standing his ground, but he has to flash to get himself out of the way.
And fair 5v5 fight, let's say, where you're not holding Drake aggro now. It kind of goes the other way.
Ooh, Shockwave is going to be collected there by Rascal. Faker wanting to get a quick kill onto life, but he flashes to get himself out of the way. Still, high value as Zeus on a flank angle here. Bellows Breath And the Ornhorn available here as in goes aiming, just frontlining on the Twitch. Owner almost dead, Faker almost dead as T1 are still running away from KT, but they still win out on the trade.
As the Drake is about to spawn, they don't want to lose a trade. Cuz
yeah, Cuz heroically charges on top of Gumayusi. He's not going to be able to dash his way out because of the steadfast presence, but he is able to flash, does get himself to relative safety. Now Faker flashing forward, running forward, actually finds the shockwave, gets a flash out of life, and Cuz is able to walk it out. Yep, they have a lot of vision available, but this Baron has not a lot of health bar as the paranoia does come through. Now KT going to try and coordinate. It's the Baron that's going to go down, but can T1 win the team fight as Rascal going down very, very low? Cuz just knocks into a wall and isn't going to be able to do too much more. He is likely to fall down as Gumayusi gets his first kill of the game. Faker gets to 4,000 assists, and T1 take a Baron and win a fight.
That should be them taking control of the inside of KT's base as well. Life.
Oh, he's going to get knocked up. That is seafood for T1, given the particular skin choice there of the Lulu.
It was so massive when aiming ulted in that last skirmish in mid, and Guma didn't. And Owner is just hanging out like, are you guys going to try to collapse? I'll turn the lights off.
Yeah, just keeping on threatening. His paranoia has been so valuable so far, and especially when you have an advantage. Yep, like you say, the inhibitor turret's going to go down. Inhibitor to follow, as Shockwave is not going to find Aiming, who manages to sprint his way out, and now a Realm Warp to come on forward. Vikla just kind of, Rascal by himself, as Aiming's trying to do damage, but Zeus just denying him completely. Now Aiming's able to try and kite this one out as Owner goes golden. Aiming's still alive for now, but the rest of his team is evaporating. And KT will unfortunately fall to maybe a pentakill for Gumayusi. T1 say goodnight to the telecom war with over 4,000 assists on Faker in the second pentakill of the season against the man that got the first one.
Beautiful play from Guma there in the end, but at the end of the day, it's KT losing map control for just 1 second.
As we'll have a look at the damage in the end, Gumayusi definitely overshadowing everybody else, as a lot of our Zeris do, but Faker doing a whole lot of work. And as you can see, this was T1 fighting back against some mid-game deficits.
Yep, Zeri's win rate shooting up a little bit here in this series. And
Thank you very much, guys. This is Season for the PUG interview, joined by Faker and Gumayusi from T1. Congratulations, guys. T1 is the first team to pick up 12th victory up the split, and you guys are back on the first place. How do you feel, Faker? Happy that we won, and also we had a lot of fights and skirmishes, and we won, so I think that's a good point. What about you, Gumayusi? I mean, there were so many people talking about LCK's best AD carry without me, and today I was able to kind of prove myself, and this is gonna be the start of me beating all the other AD carries in the LCK. And Faker, you played Galio back-to-back in game number 1 and 2, and it was undefeated so far in the summer split, 5-0. You make a lot of outplays on that Galio, so is that something you always prepare for the match, or is that something like a spur-of-the-moment thing? It depends, you know. These days, I think it's really important to spread your influence and kind of your pressure around the map and other lanes. So I think Galio is a good pick to kind of match with that kind of a playstyle. Do you remember this highlight? You were able to turn this fight around. You were holding on to the Zonias forever. Well, there was an action happening, fight broke out, and then I knew that I'm not going to die there. So I wanted to save my Zonias and then kind of make the opponent to actually dive even further and then turn it around. Yeah, I was pretty sure that I'm not gonna die in the first initiation. And KT Roaster played Skarner for 2 games in a row early on. This is not a meta pick right now, but it seems like T1 knew perfectly how to play against Skarner. So after I played Skarner in solo queue, everyone is just like following me, mimicking me, but I started it, so I know how to play against it as well. So I think we did a great job of playing against Skarner. And Guma, Owner has been hovering Master E on and on and on, but he was never able to lock it in. Did someone deny his Master E? Not really, but he never played it. And he never said he wants to play it. But it just got buffed recently, so I guess he's trying to tell us that he wants to play it sometime in the future. And today, Zeri Yumi was let through multiple times. Why is that? I think it's because of the Sivir coming back in meta. Then what about game 3? Were you guys confident that you will be able to get the late game victory with the Zeri Yumi? I thought better team is going to win. And Zeri Yumi definitely has higher late game kind of potential. And in the end, Guma, you picked up a pentakill, and every T1 player shouted for that penta to hand it over to you. I was pretty touched by the fact that everyone was so happy with my penta, and I was able to have a lot of fun after a long while. And Faker, you also set a new record, getting the 4,000th assist in the LCK. How do you feel about that? I'm happy that I eclipsed Wolf, and ever since then, I don't really care much about getting more assists. But I'm happy with 4,000 assists, and I'll keep working hard in the future. Is there any other record that you want to kind of break? I think record is not the main priority, you know? It just follows you if you perform well. And Guma Yuzi, how does it feel to watch the summon right next to you making history and records? I will catch up with him in the future. Faker, any thoughts? Well, it might happen. Good luck. And Joel Marsh is here at Lowell Park with a drum supporting T1. Did you get the Joel Marsh buff today? I saw him drumming in crowd. I was like, who's like playing the drum? And it was Joel Marsh. So he was, yeah, out there playing drums. And our job is to always just do our best. So we just focused on, the game and playing the best we can. Any message over to Joe? T1 fighting. And this Saturday we have the big match of this week. It's gonna be T1 against Genji. Everyone is so excited for that series. What is your mindset heading into that big series? We won in round 1, and as long as we can play as we planned in round 2, we will be able to take them down. And recently, we've been getting a lot of 2-1 victories, so I really wish to get a 2-0 win in that series. I think Genji is a beatable team, and we're gonna take them down. And I'm gonna, do some ceremony dance after taking Genji down. If Guma do that dance, I'm gonna watch him dancing on stage. And this will be the end of the interview from Guma Yuzi. Faker from T1. Back to the analyst astronauts. Thank you.